Dr. Sabine Elise, a board-certified family medicine physician. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Cornerstone Medical Group in CoralSprings, Florida. And I'm also a pastor's kid, a wife, and a mom. And I've come to realize, wearing those three hats, to be healthy and well, you have to address more than your physical health. So through my book, best-selling book on Amazon, The Healthy Whole RX, and also through my medical office, I help men and women reconnect their physical, spiritual, and cognitive health so that they can bring satisfying wholeness to their lives daily. So I want to get into our topic today. Today, we are talking about how to check your immunity for coronavirus or COVID-19. How to check your immunity for coronavirus or COVID-19. Tuesday Transformers, it is Wednesday, but Tuesday Transformers, it is a little bit, like we always do. I always want to give you the information. I want to educate you so that you'll know what these things mean and what it is. So right now we know that there's testing that's going on. We know that social distancing has decreased. We've kind of opened everything up. I'm going to tell you about specifically here in Broward, what's going on in this Tri-County area, and then also for the state. And then I want to tell you about what this is, and we're going to do that really quickly. Don't worry. So first of all, social distancing has kind of decreased. We haven't, we have a lot more things that are opening up. We have a lot of people going back to work. So what does that mean for us as a state? As a state, I just got these numbers. As a state, we are now at 58,000, over 58,000 cases. And in the state, in the Broward County, 2 days ago, we were at 5,600. And now we are at 7,399. So we see these numbers are continuing to increase. We see that while we have taken off this mandate of social distancing, we are still seeing the movement of this illness. And that's something that I want to tell you very clearly, that while we were in a moment of social distancing to flatten a curve, we did flatten a curve, but we are still getting sick. People are still getting infected. One of the questions that we asked earlier, we said, do you think that everyone will get coronavirus? It was interesting because someone sent me a message back and they said, I think that everyone may be exposed, but they won't get it. And I just want to speak on that quickly. The reality is that there are many individuals who have already contracted coronavirus, but they happen to be part of the group of people who are asymptomatic. And we are still seeing people just really being affected by the social distancing, because it's not just physical isolation, it is socially distancing. It is affecting individuals in their cognitive, emotional health. This is what I talk about my Tuesday Transformers who are used to me. It is affecting them. Why? How? We're having acne breakouts. People are having more heartburn, reflux. Their blood pressure medication that was working last week is not working now. And then the reality of the fear of contracting this virus and not knowing. And you already know that we've spoken about this before. Anxiety and fear is driven by the unknown. So it's very important to make the unknown known. And now we're able to do that. And that's where the antibody testing comes in. That's where we do the immunity testing to see if you just happen to be one of those individuals who are not just exposed, but actually were infected, but happen to be one of those asymptomatic individuals. Right now, you can get antibody testing. Yep, right now. We actually do it in the office right now, but there are other places that do it as well too, and here is the benefit of it. These antibody testing, you do it, simple finger prick, they do the blood, and you get the results back in minutes. And you'll be able to know whether or not, 1, you are infected currently, 2, whether or not you have immunity. These are two different things. So we're looking for something that's called IgG and IgM. So remember, I love to educate you guys because I think everyone can learn. IgM, M. I want you to remember the M and think of move. IgM moves. The M is what will come up reactive if you are currently infected. The M. The G, IgG, is what will come up as reactive if you've built immunity. And many people want to be in the place that they know they've built immunity. Why? Because they want to make the unknown known. The very thought and idea and the devastation and seeing all that is going on, they're fearful. A lot of people are fearful. You might be one of the individuals who are fearful as well too. So you want to make the unknown known. And that best way of doing that is at least starting with the immunity testing. So the IgG, the IgM finger prick test. And we spoke about the numbers in Broward, we spoke about IgG, we spoke about IgM, we spoke about how many people could have very well already contracted coronavirus, but they just didn't know it because they're asymptomatic. And some individuals too, this was another person who emailed and sent me a DM message, some individuals now are thinking back and they're saying, you know, in December, in January, in November, I was really, really sick and I just thought it was the flu, but I was really, really sick. And now they're thinking that, you know what, maybe that was the time where I actually contracted coronavirus. And the only way to find out if that's really the case is, well, you do the testing. Simple finger prick, minutes, and within minutes you get the results. So it's a wonderful thing to do. Here's the other thing on why this is important. I think it is one of the things that I would recommend for my patients as well as the Tuesday Transformers. The reality of what we all have faced in these last 2 months is that we have lost control. We have been driven by fear, and that sense of losing control, it affects your cognitive health. And when something affects your cognitive health, your emotional health, it spills into your physical health. That's the reason why a lot of people are suffering from insomnia right now. That's the reason why blood pressure medications aren't working as much. So the reality is that now when we could answer the question of, am I at risk for coronavirus? If I do get coronavirus, how bad will it be? And is my family okay? This is one of the best ways to find out. Check your immunity, know your immunity. Now, one of the other things that came across my feed was individuals willingly who have said, you know what, I've had enough of this. I think that everyone will be infected. On the poll that we did, about 67% or so of people felt that no, I won't get infected, everyone won't get affected, and there's still that group that says yes. I'm not going to give you my opinion on that, on what I think, but I will tell you based on the numbers that we see, the numbers are going up. That there are many people who are still asymptomatic and they're getting infected, and when you are asymptomatic and you are getting infected, you are spreading the illness even more. We no longer have social distancing really in place. I see people at the stores wearing masks, but they're either wearing them on the ear, I see it in the back pocket, I see it underneath the chin. So we're not really doing what we should be doing in the light of the infective rates going up and increasing. So I want to speak about the individuals who said, you know what, we're all going to get this anyway. I want to go ahead and kind of get infected to get this over with. And I want to remind you about a time when we didn't have the chickenpox vaccine. And mothers and fathers and families, they would learn that a neighborhood child had chickenpox, and they would willingly expose their child to chickenpox in the summer so that it would not affect their academic school year, and so that kind of everyone could get sick together. And I think that that's what's occurring for some people. That's their rationale. And what that actually does, in all honesty, it builds what we call herd immunity. When we get about 65% of the nation, of everyone in the United States, if we could get about 65% of the individuals in the nation immune to coronavirus, we build herd immunity, and that is when we could have less spread of this illness. So I wanted to give you this food for thought.